Have you ever wondered why some stories are loved everywhere in every culture? What if the secret isn't just great characters or exciting plots, but something much simpler? What if it's something you learned in school, your grammar? We're going to explore how the rules of grammar, like how we use verbs and tense, create the blueprint for every single story ever told. From ancient myths to the movies you love, grammar isn't just about writing correctly, it's the hidden structure behind storytelling itself. The silent language of story. We all love a good story, but how do we truly understand one? While we follow the plot on the surface, there's an invisible language working beneath it. That language is grammar. Every story in the world, from a bedtime tale to an epic movie, is built on the same hidden framework. It's the simple, powerful structure of who did what to whom. This is the subject-verb-object pattern, a grammatical base that our brains instinctually look for. When you hear the hero, who, defeated, did what, the dragon, to whom, your mind immediately builds a scene and a relationship. This structure is universal because it mirrors how humans experience action and consequence. At its core, this structure answers a deep human need, the need for cause and effect. We are wired to ask why and then what. Grammar doesn't just allow this question, it forces it. By linking a subject, a cause, to a verb and an object, an effect, every complete sentence is a tiny story of causality. So before a writer even dreams up a dragon, they are already using this silent grammatical language. It is the first and most fundamental blueprint of every narrative. Tense, the unseen architect of narrative arc. Think of a story's timeline as its backbone. Tense is the invisible architect that builds that backbone, controlling our journey through time. The story's time machine. Every story begins with a time signal. Once upon a time, immediately plants us in the past tense, telling us this is a tale that has already happened. It creates a safe feeling of reflection. They lived happily ever after uses the same past tense to signal the end and resolution. The tense itself bookends the journey. Tense as a mood builder. The choice of tense directly changes how we feel. Past tense is the classic storyteller's voice. It feels complete, like a memory being shared. This allows for suspense. We know the events are set, but we don't yet know what they are. Present tense, she runs to the door, puts us in the moment. It creates immediate, raw tension and intimacy because we experience the action as it unfolds with no safety net of knowing the outcome. Future tense, she will discover the truth, is all about anticipation and anxiety. It points forward, building expectation, and making us wonder how and when something will happen. Tense shifts as plot shifts. When a story suddenly changes tense, it's a major signal. A shift from past to present might pull us into a critical life or death moment. A shift to future tense might reveal a character's hope or fear. These grammatical shifts often mirror a plot twist or a character's breakthrough, making the emotional impact hit us on a deeper, almost instinctive level. The grammar itself is telling us, pay attention, something has changed. Voice and mood, shaping perspective and emotion. Beyond just what happens, grammar shapes who we feel it happening to and how it feels. Voice, who's in charge? This is all about the difference between active voice and passive voice. Active voice is direct. The wizard cast a spell. The subject, the wizard, is doing the action. This gives the character clear agency and power. It makes us connect with them as the driver of the story. Passive voice shifts the focus. A spell was cast by the wizard. Now the action, the spell, is the star, and the wizard is in the background. This can make a character seem powerless, mysterious, or like events are happening to them. It's a subtle grammatical tool for creating vulnerability or obscuring who is really responsible. Mood, the feeling of a sentence. Mood in grammar isn't about being happy or sad, it's about the speaker's attitude toward what they're saying. The three main moods color a story in different ways. Indicative mood is for stating facts. The kingdom is at peace. It builds the story's reality. Imperative mood is for commands or pleas. Listen to me or save the kingdom. It creates urgency, authority, or desperation. It directly involves the reader or another character. Subjunctive mood is for wishes, doubts, or imaginary situations. It is used to express hypothetical situations, wishes, suggestions, or demands. It deals with what isn't real, hopes, fears, and alternate possibilities. This mood builds layers of character desire and regret. The emotional impact. These choices happen quietly, but they steer our feelings. Active voice makes us feel a character's strength. Passive voice can make us feel their helplessness. The subjunctive mood fills us with a character's longing. Grammar doesn't just tell us the plot, it uses voice to tell us who to root for, and mood to tell us how to feel about what might happen next. Conjunctions and clauses, the weave of complexity. Stories would be flat and lifeless if every sentence were a simple fact. The true texture of a narrative comes from how ideas are connected, and that's the work of grammar. Conjunctions, the story's connectors. Think of conjunctions as the glue or signposts between ideas. A simple sentence is a single brick. The hero arrived. Conjunctions like and, but, so, because, and or let us build bridges between bricks. The hero arrived and the battle began. This adds a sequence. The hero arrived, but it was too late. This creates conflict and surprise. The hero arrived because the city called for help. This explains a reason, the cause and effect that is the heart of plot. Clauses, adding layers of meaning. A clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb. The real magic happens with subordinate clauses, parts of a sentence that can't stand alone but add crucial detail. They are the secret pockets where backstory, tension, and depth live. Foreshadowing. As the sun set, a chill fell over the village. The main clause is about the chill, but the subordinate clause, as the sun set, sets the time and a quiet, ominous mood. Backstory. The queen who had survived 2 coups trusted no one. The subordinate clause, who had survived 2 coups, is where her entire tragic history is explained, making her present actions understandable. Depth and motive. She drew her sword while remembering her promise. Here, the action, drawing a sword, is connected to the internal motive, remembering a promise, in a single powerful sentence. Mirroring human experience. Our lives aren't a series of simple, unrelated events. They are a tangled web of simultaneous actions, memories, causes, and conditions. A simple sentence can only state a single fact. A complex sentence woven with conjunctions and clauses mirrors the layered, interconnected reality of our own lives and the best, most believable plots. The grammar itself builds the story's complexity, showing us not just what is happening, but how, why, and what else is happening. The universal story blueprint. At the end of all this, we find a simple, amazing truth. The world's most powerful stories share the same grammatical foundation. One blueprint, endless stories. From the ancient myths of Greece to today's biggest superhero blockbusters, the fundamental grammar is the same. Every story needs a subject, a hero, and a verb, a quest or a struggle. Every story uses tense to take us on a journey from a once upon a time to a conclusion. Every story uses conjunctions and clauses to weave together conflict, but, cause, because, and consequence, so. These aren't just writing tips, they are deeply human patterns of thought that grammar makes into story. When a narrative follows this sentence of existence, it feels right and aligns across any culture or time. Empowerment for creators. Knowing this isn't about following rigid rules, it's about understanding the source of your power. When you know that grammar is the invisible architecture, you can build your stories with more confidence and purpose. You can create deeper suspense by choosing the right tense. You can make a reader connect with a character by using active voice. You can add layers of meaning with a single subordinate clause. This knowledge turns grammar from a school subject into a creative toolkit, helping you craft stories that aren't just original, but instinctively rich and impactful to any audience. The future of storytelling. The way we tell stories is always evolving, from books to films to video games and virtual reality, but the way we understand stories is timeless.
No matter the new technology, whether it's an interactive game or a holographic film, the human brain will still seek out that subject, that verb, that cause and effect. By mastering these timeless grammatical principles, you are not learning the rules of the past. You are learning the fundamental code for connecting with people in the future, in any medium yet to be invented. The tools may change, but the blueprint remains. So the next time you get lost in a great story, remember, you're not just following a plot, you're reading the oldest, most human blueprint there is, written not in ink, but in grammar.